Oh, hello there. Hi. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were there. Welcome. You're watching yet another Not So Big Show with Chris Moe. You have to excuse me, I seem somewhat awkward. It's because I was just reading these random note cards. They were just here, and I was reading them. Woo, woo. Oh, goodness. Welcome. This is the first Not So Big Show with Chris Moe in a while. It is not the first that I have filmed since the last one. I've filmed a couple of others, and I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm kind of like a caveman with a Bic lighter when it comes to film editing, and I just couldn't figure it out. I got to tell you, I didn't do very well, and so those videos were also long. Kind of went on long, so I've got a timer because remember, the man wants to keep me down. Yeah, Steve Jobs or whoever you are, want to keep you to 15 minutes. Well, fine. Be that way. But anyway, they were long, and I rambled, and they're unairable, and I've deleted them since. No, I have them somewhere, and maybe one day someone will watch them, perhaps 1,000 years from now in the future, when people are sifting through the debris of a nuclear cataclysm. They'll say, hey, what's this? Looks like a old-style computer. Let's plug it in. Oh, look, this guy thought that he was funny and made other people watch him attempt to be funny. Wow, glad they're all gone. But whew, not funny? Not funny. Okay. Anyway, welcome back to the Not So Big Show with Chris Moe. A lot's happened, folks, in the world since the last Not So Big Show with Chris Moe. A lot has happened for me as far as the development of this show, and or the Big Show with Chris Moe, the development of that. This, of course, is a production blog, but I call it the Not So Big Show with Chris Moe. A lot's happened in the world as well. We've had, I think, since the last one that I actually posted, the last video, we've had tragedy in Japan, and we've also had the death, more recently, of Osama bin Laden. And I gotta comment on this because I find it very unusual. People are very quick to praise our president, President Obama, over ordering the execution of this man, Osama bin Laden. And I gotta tell you, it's kind of like I think it's akin to going to a restaurant, having a very nice steak, just one of the best, man, you're eating this steak, and you're like, this doesn't get any better than this. And I'll tell you, I've had that experience. I've had a steak like that. It was over at Dickie Brennan's, which is a wonderful steakhouse in New Orleans. Very, very expensive. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, man, each bite, this is why taste buds were invented. This is why God gave us taste. Because it could just be, we just put food in our mouth and it has no flavor. I mean, really, but God gave us taste buds, and it was for that steak. And it would be kind of like my waiter, and you get like 3 waiters over there, and one brings you water and bread, and the other one, like, wipes your mouth. It's wonderful. And with a napkin, and not his hand. That would be just awkward and also very non-hygienic. Hygienical? Who knows? And people are congratulating our president for ordering this, and I'm thinking it's kind of like if I went to the water guy and I said, hello, excuse me, sir. Yeah, I want to just thank you. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back. That was one heck of a steak, man. You did a great job. And he's like, you want some more water? Because he didn't do anything. He didn't make the steak. Now, if the chef came out, I would certainly want to thank him. The chef's too busy cooking. He's not going to come out. So when I meet a member of the Navy SEALs Team 6, I'll thank one of them. But our president really didn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, it's a commentary, and maybe I need to cut it. It's a little political. I admit that. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. And if you're offended by this, well, then I'm sorry. I genuinely am. Let's forget about politics, and let's instead talk about this shirt. Aloha. It's the, let's look at this thing. This has got a very, if you can see, I don't think you can see it here. There's a very attractive, and she's all over the shirt, very attractive Hawaiian woman, and she's wearing a grass skirt or a trash bag that's been kind of cut into segments. Who knows? It's not really very well detailed art. And I was just feeling like putting this shirt on. That's all I was feeling. It's not spring. I mean, it's not summer yet, but I don't care. It feels like it to me because I'm large and I sweat a lot, profusely, in fact. Moving on. We've got a lot of big news. I mean, there's been a lot of developments in the world of the Big Show with Chris Moe, the background, the back, whatever you want to call that, backstory. I don't think that's the word either. The first big news is that one of my goals long term with this whole endeavor, this whole enterprise, this whole production, was to get cameras, because you kind of need them. This ain't radio, and so I said to myself, I said, I gotta get cameras, and I finally bought one. And this is the first video, like I said, that you're seeing made on that camera, or rather, with that camera. And it is a Kodak ZI-8. It's a competitor. And notice what I did there. This is a little helpful tip for you. It'll help you improve your life. You know, that's why it's a public service. That's why I'm here. If you want to sound smarter than perhaps you think you are, you want to impress people, guys, this is good for impressing the ladies. What you can do is you kind of subtly mispronounce or alter the pronunciation of a syllable. For example, the word competitor. Competitor. Yeah, that's my competitor. I just beat him. It's normal. It's every day. Yes, that was my competitor. I destroyed him. Huh? Competitor. Anyway, the Kodak ZI-8 is a competitor with the flip camera, and they're both pretty much the same. This one I've read a lot of reviews. It seems to have done very well on CNET.com. A lot of other websites have given it very high praise in comparison to the flip, and so I purchased it. It is HD capable, and whether or not I will post these in HD, I don't know, because honestly, I don't know a lot about all this technical mumbo-jumbo yet. So, first big development, got this camera. The second big development, this is, I think, a bigger development. I mean, even if I had to film the show with my iPhone camera, it could have still happened, but this was something I really wanted to happen, and this was, I wanted a place to film this, because people have said, just film it in your room. I mean, you got the room here, you got the walls, and you got the ceiling, and it's not going to rain on you, just do it there. And yeah, you know, and I've had some people say you've really got a nice background with all of this, what I call geek accoutrement, as it were, the action figures and such. And my daughter, Ava, my oldest, calls it the super cave, because it's dark, again, to protect the paint of those very, very collectible action figures and expensive comic books and such. And but I wanted a place where I could have an audience of more than 5 people. 5 people maybe can fit in here comfortably, maybe. But I wanted a place where more people could go. And I want to thank my sister-in-law, Emily, who recommended this place. Let me, before I announce it, she knows, if she's watching, what this place is. Let me just tell you about this joint. I still can't believe that they're going to let me film here. It's amazing. They really must not know me well. Okay? They being this place, the people that run it. 106 theater seats. Wireless access. Data projector. See what I did? A screen for said data projector. A DVD player. Sound system. A sound system. Microphones, like the lapel mics and the other kind of mics, the ones that, you know, the other kind. And a piano, which I don't see coming in handy unless I have a musical guest that plays a piano. Yeah! What is this place? It's the South Side branch of the Lafayette Public Library, and the way it's going to work, let me just kind of give you the nitty-gritty real quick, because again, the man is breathing down my neck. I'm going to do, ideally, I can only use the place, anybody can only use the place 12 times a year, that's once a month, and I'm going to use it on Saturdays, starting in June, around mid-June, to do 2 shows back-to-back, and then those will air, 2, like I said, 2 per month, and that's kind of what we're looking at now. So I will will I spare? What does that mean? I will spread the word as soon as I know the exact dates and times, and talk to you later in another installment about how you can become a part of that audience. 106 seats. I have 84 people that like this page on Facebook, The Big Show with Chris Moe, so I don't know, might not have enough room. I can dream, can't I? Anyway, moving on. The viewer mail, and you know, back in the old days, I tell you, back in the old days, you had this thing called snail mail, they call it now, but it was a guy in shorts running around bringing paper to people, and not anymore. No, it's the 21st century. We've now got Facebook, and I want to read a couple of comments here on my official The Big Show with Chris Moe Facebook page. One is from a good old friend of mine, and we've been friends off and on now for years, but we met in the seminary, and that was around 10 years ago. One of the funniest people I know, and I know a lot of funny people. I'm not counting myself as one of those people. But he is hilarious. His name is Carl Gellner, very funny guy, and he wrote, Chris, you could be an alternate for Conan when he's sick. He's talking about Conan O'Brien, not Conan the Barbarian. No one wants to see me shirtless, trust me. how Saddam had a double for public events. Well, there you go. Thanks, Carl. I don't think that Conan knows me yet, but I do have a little idea. You know, Conan O'Brien shows fan videos on his show occasionally, and so I have a little idea. So look for that because it could be interesting. The next person who writes on here is a very good friend of mine, and but at the same time, business comes before friendship sometimes, doesn't it? You know, and he says to me, he says, "Well, if you're going to mention me, you've got to fill out a number of legally binding forms. I can be fined, I can be imprisoned if I don't follow these rules." And one of the laws in the bylaws, it's like 17, 18 pages, just one document, is that I mention all of his websites before I can even mention his name. So here we go. www.roypetafis.com. I would spell that, but you're not going to go visit anyway, right? Huh? Who's with me, fellas? The other one is www.twitter.com/RoyPetafis. The next one, of course, is www.facebook.com/RoyPetafis. And there's also www.big_Jesus.gov/ I think Bobby_Flay /Rob_Perillo.html. How did he get a gov? I don't know. This guy, this Roy Petafis cat, he's got connections. To the Madhouse. Anyway, he writes, "Okay, I'm 2 minutes into the episode," and he puts this in all caps, so I've got to read it like this. "I'm 2 minutes into the episode and am loving it, man." Thank you for that, screaming at me. You're a natural at being yourself in front of the camera, also in all caps. Not an easy thing to do. Thank you, Roy. You're right. That I am able to be a natural in front of the camera, and that sounded arrogant. Like I was like, "You're right" when you complimented me. You know, that was horrible. I didn't mean it to come off that way. But I can be myself. You know, this is me. My students are like, "You like this all the time?" Yes, I am. And as frightening as that is. So thank you, my brother. In all seriousness, I pick on Roy, but we're good friends. He's been very supportive and given me a lot of feedback and a lot of input on how to do this show. And he's a cheerleader, and there's an image for people that know him. I mean, wow. But thank you, Roy, for that comment. Thanks for taking the time to comment on my site, on my page. Another one. Now, this is from Roy's mother-in-law, Miss Linda Guidry, very sweet lady, and she writes, "Chris, I like the..." Oh, good job, Chris. "I like the superhero background." She again means the geek accoutrement. And she says, "Your style is reminiscent of John Candy, especially the laugh." Thank you, Miss Linda. You know, most people do compare me to not John Candy, to Conan O'Brien, but John Candy, one of my favorite all-time comedians, some of my favorite movies, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, The Big Outdoors, and of course Uncle Buck, classic, and I quote them often, and my kids are like, "Was that like on an episode of Jersey Shore?" No, it wasn't. It's called comedy. It actually, like, good comedy. And then they're just like, "Huh?" No, I'm kidding. I'm just picking on my students. But thank you, Miss Linda. I appreciate that comment. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for posting that to my wall. I appreciate it. Finally, this guy doesn't know he's a lawyer, but he doesn't know he's going to be the legal counsel of The Big Show with Chris Moe, because by God, I'm probably going to need it. His name's Jason Garrow, and Jason writes, "Great not-so-big show, Chris. Keep them coming. And I'm looking forward to when The Big Show is in full production." And I second Charlie's idea for T-shirts. It could be a good way to, a good fundraiser for the show. What's he talking about? Well, a good friend of mine, another good friend, Charlie Jobert, offered to buy the first set of T-shirts, because I do have a logo. You've probably seen it. And I'm putting it on a T-shirt, more than one. And he offered to pay for the first set. Those are going to be out, hopefully, this summer before the show. And Jason, thank you for posting. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. And you're right about the T-shirts, and you will get one, my friend, because of your support there for the show. And when I say get, I mean for the low price of probably, what, 15? I think you suggested 15, so don't complain. Well, look, folks, the man, I see Steve Jobs. He's over there by my Superman action figures, and he's got a handgun. So I probably should go. Thank you for watching. And more updates on the time, how to be an audience member of The Big Show with Chris Moe when it premieres at the Lafayette Public Library South Side Branch this June. Thanks for watching.